Hey guys, it's Emma. I am finally back again. I am so sorry it's been like 2 weeks, but I have been gone because I've been going through a lot of stuff. I'll probably make a story time about like one of the funny things I experienced in this time, but yeah, I have not been doing too great. But I'm back, and again, I apologize. There were some video requests that I haven't had the time to follow up on. So I'm here today and I'm going to be getting to those. So the first one I want to make a video about is parents and family, which is why you're watching this video if you saw the caption. I think that a child and their parents' relationship is especially rocky at my age. I'm 17, so if you're my age, you probably understand, but I think that issues can happen with parents and your whole family in general at any age, and I can see that with my parents' parents and so forth. I think it is unfortunately common that people grow up in fairly toxic households, and I want to just give you guys some advice on how to get through it and also how you can make an impact on the situation without getting yourself in any danger. Now, while I had a pretty great childhood, I grew up in a small town. I don't live there anymore, but it was, pleasant and everybody knew everybody. It wasn't always as it seemed when nobody else was there, and because of that, things were just really toxic, things were tense, there was a lot of anger in my family, and I struggled to understand why or if it was my fault or what I could do to fix it. Now, for starters, I just want to reassure anybody that it is definitely not your fault if your parent is acting in a certain way, unless you are genuinely a horrible kid. If you are just being a kid and you feel like things are falling apart, I just want to tell you that these people are grown adults, okay? They are capable of managing their feelings. They are capable of making adult decisions, especially if you're my age. You do not have the responsibility of making things a healthy environment. That is the responsibility of the parent. And if they are not upholding that position, that is not something that's your fault. It's not something that you should feel guilty about because it is their responsibility. I know for me, at least in my household, I was the oldest child. I have older siblings, didn't grow up with them, and I felt like because of that, because there were certain things that weren't being enforced with my younger sibling, I felt like I had to take that leadership position and I had to be the one to glue everything together, which was not true. I was a kid and it really affected me and made me feel like when things didn't go right, it was my fault. It's not your fault. And I really tried to communicate to my family the issues that I saw, and I knew how to solve those problems. I had the solutions, and I am where I am today because my mom finally listened to me, but it took many years and it took a lot of disagreeing with me and telling me that I was young and I didn't understand what was going on, which was partially true, which is why I say you shouldn't feel like anything is your responsibility. But if you feel like you can't just stand around and let things happen, it is good to communicate how you are being affected in a toxic environment. Of course, do this in a manner that is going to keep you safe. Tell somebody that you trust, and if you can confide in your parents, then do that. That is what I was lucky enough to do because I do have a very caring mother, no matter how much we've been through. And she did want to know how it was affecting me, which eventually led her to decide to separate from the rest of our family. Now, while I feel like my support that led us to be where we are today was super impactful and helpful in this situation, I do feel like it wasn't something that was my place to do, and by that I mean I did not have the responsibility as a child to be the support system for grown adults. That isn't something that I should have done because I couldn't fully comprehend things. I shouldn't have had that exposure to very personal things that were between my parents' relationship, and I just feel like it would have gone better if they could have just figured things out on their own instead of making it something that I was 100% conscious about. But that is a minor mistake that my situation had, and that's okay, and I've grown from it. But my suggestion is to take care of yourself because eventually you're not going to always be in this environment. You can get out, you can find somewhere safe, and you will eventually get out of there if that is something that you know you need to do. If you are worried, like I said, about a relationship between your parents or just people in a household, it is important to make sure that those people that are affecting you understand what they are doing help them understand why it isn't okay, whatever is going on, not just for you, for them, for everyone around them, and understand why that is something that cannot continue, whether it is being together or just maybe arguing, anything. If it is something that is truly affecting the functioning of the household, it is something that needs to be fixed. Sometimes we feel like we can't do anything because nobody listens to us, and that's kind of what I meant by when my family would think about what I said and say, oh no, you're young and you're dumb and you don't understand, but then I would end up being right. And it was like, yes, I'm young, I don't fully comprehend what's happening, but you're putting it in front of my eyes and I can tell you what's right and what's wrong and the solution to that. And if you feel like you can't get through to people, that is okay. Like I said, that is not your responsibility, and that is something that you can take and learn to not apply to your own family when you create your own family one day. So make sure you take these experiences, instead of becoming it, become better from it. Don't turn into that, and understand the right and wrongs in the situation so that you can make sure that that's not something that you become. Let me know if anybody needs me to go more in depth about that, but I just wanted to kind of cover the ground surface on a few things that you can do and how you can kind of cope with the situation. I am very sorry if anybody is going through this, but I promise you that things will be all right, and I am always here to give you guys advice if you need it. Always leave a comment, and I will be sure to respond in my next video, and I hope you guys are doing great. I'm gonna work on doing better myself, and I will talk to you guys soon. Okay, bye.